Oh, we're going. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for Friday, November 17th. Of course, this is a show that we do every day at 10 o'clock Eastern time. We give our official picks, but this is the last show we're doing at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Is that correct, Jim? I don't want to mislead anyone here.
That is correct.
All right. So, schedule change starting on Monday. We're going to be doing two shows. The first one's going to be at 12 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Pacific. And the second one is going to be a review, an update show. Thank you very much. We'll update our picks, and that will be at 6 o'clock Eastern time, 3 o'clock Pacific. And as I've said many times, that's going to be a little bit tricky because, as we know, the lines change significantly from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And that means that we might be taking worse lines on some of the bets that we want. We might also be taking better lines on some of the bets that we want, but the market moving against us. So I think I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do it because I like everything to be very clear and obvious and transparent, whatever our process is for giving the picks. But maybe we should institute some sort of process where, like, we can tweet out picks before the show, so you lock in the line at that time. People can follow the tweets, and then in the show, those are your lines that you tweeted at the time we tweeted out if it moved against you or in your favor, and we can discuss the line moves. Does that sound like something that we should do, or what do you think? Or maybe we should just use whatever lines are at 12 o'clock and fuck it.
It's a good question. We can think about it over the weekend, but my initial feeling is that we should just use the noon lines.
Yeah, there's something to that.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
And we can discuss how at 9 a.m. or if we had done the show 2 hours ago, we would have had a better line.
Right. I mean, I do make a lot of my bets on the overnight lines, and sometimes those lines are the same, but sometimes they change. All right, let's get into it. Very happy with the way things are going. Yesterday, Jimmy, you had a nice call in the NBA on that over. You did have a losing day though in NHL. You are still positive, but you don't want to have to rely on. It's like relying on a 3-run home run in baseball. You don't want to have to rely on 3 puck line winners once a week to get positive. You know what I mean?
Sure, but I mean, I wasn't down a full unit in hockey.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
I have you at, yesterday, I have you at, let me see, I have you at down quite a few units. Maybe I'm pretty sure I got the right lines. Let me just add it up here. Here we are in Excel. I have you down 1.5 units. Is that not correct? Winnipeg over 5.5 was a loser.
Yes.
St. Louis Edmonton under was a winner, 5.5.
Yeah.
Washington money line minus 120 was a loser.
Yeah.
Vancouver puck line was a loser. Vancouver Vegas under 6 was a loser.
Yeah.
New Jersey money line was a loser. Maybe that's the one you're forgetting.
No. Then I had the.
Then you had the Islanders money line winner and the Tampa Bay puck line winner at plus 180.
Yeah. So isn't that 3? Didn't I go 3 and 5?
You went 1 and 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1 and, 3 and 5. Okay. Minus 1.5,
right.
minus 1.46 units. Yeah. I mean, no, you're still up a unit on the day. All I'm saying, I mean, on the year. All I'm saying is that we're very accurate and truthful with our record keeping, which is why it's so impressive when we can announce our positive records, which you are still positive in the NHL. Great call on the NBA. You're positive in the NBA overall on the year. I won a couple units in the NHL, and if you recall, one of our commenters yesterday said St. Louis no chance to win to beat Edmonton. Edmonton should have been minus 5,000 in that game, right, Jim?
It was a nice spot that we didn't take advantage of.
And then they just won. That just shows you. Sometimes when these people in the comment chat box say a team has no chance, they are right, and sometimes they're just totally wrong.
Yeah, it was a difficult card, and I didn't handle it right. I thought the Devils were in a really nice spot, and they lose with a second left in overtime. They outshot them.
Was a tough one.
Outshot them 42-25. It was too bad that I laid off the Panthers game as they won 2-0. And I think this is a spot where the Panthers are going to show us more value because they have such great offense, and if they can tighten up their defense, they're going to keep winning. And already my man, Aspire to a Late Minnesota Man, says put $2 into the Save Spidey fund.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. And also, of course, I gave a third straight winner on a total in the MAC midweek games. That's 3 straight in a row. Gave you a winner on Tuesday, gave you a winner on Wednesday. Last night gave you another pick and gave you another winner last night. And the same shit happened last night. I don't know if you noticed it, but Jimmy the Bag, let me just find it. So I had, I gave the over in Buffalo Ball State. When I gave it, it was 56.5 or 57. It closed at 53.5, 54, or 54.5. So a huge market line move against my pick. Covered easily. Didn't matter. fucking market line. That's the second straight time that's happened. I don't know who's betting these these totals in these midweek games opposite of how I'm going, but whoever's doing that, you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You got to step your game up. You know what I'm saying? Market betting these lines 2 and 3 points in the opposite way that I'm going, and my picks wind up going totally right. All right, so overall things are going well. Even with your losing day in NHL, you're still positive in NHL. Great record in NFL, great record in NBA, and overall things are going great. Overall things are going great.
Overall things are going great.
Overall, people don't realize how hard it is to be up in all sports, which I believe we both are now. Now that we were just both down in hockey, I did shoot a UFC 121 video, which I think I have a bunch of picks that I'm kind of liking in a UFC Fight Night 121. That is with Andreas Hell. That should be up, and a bunch of underdog plays that I gave, and I'm thinking that there's not one of them that I'm liking particularly a lot, but I think overall as a group I kind of like them all. A bunch of underdog plays. So check out that video with Andreas Hell. I hope that's up, and it should be. All right, so let's get to the card now. We got a big NBA slate, a couple more college football games, and 2 NHL games. Let's just quickly hit the NHL and get that out of the way. All right, Jim?
Sure.
All right, so once again, overall, Jim and I won't quote the record, but Jim and I are both. I'm up 2.5 units on the year. Jim's up 1 unit on the year, and we're hopefully going to improve those records in the coming weeks. We got 2 games on the on the card. Only one of them had an overnight line, and that was the Rangers against Columbus. That's a very tricky one. The Rangers, of course, were winning and very productive offensively until they got scotched by Chicago. That was one of Jimmy's puck line winners on Chicago. Now they're going up against Columbus, who's been having trouble scoring, but because of Bobrovsky, they won their last 2 games on the road, 2 low-scoring games. This game's going to be a pass for me. The Buffalo-Detroit game I didn't even look at. I'm not going to take either of these NHL games. Do you have a play on either of these, Jim?
I have a play on both of these games.
Okay, whoa. Okay.
I think this is a great spot in the Rangers Jackets game, and I was just making sure that we could get in here early enough to get it at 6.
Okay.
I'm going to take the under in the Rangers Jackets game. Pete's breakdown was spot on. Jackets have 1 regulation goal in their last 4 games. They haven't scored a power play goal in their last 6 games. They have the worst power play in the league at 9.6%, and Bobrovsky is standing on his head.
Yes.
He's playing incredibly well. Somehow, with those poor stats, the Jackets have won 2 straight. Lundqvist was chased from the game in the 3rd period, and he's very upset. He feels like it was his fault that he stopped that 6-game winning streak, and I think he's going to play very well. And remember, that game was 1-1 going into the 3rd, and we talked about when are the Blackhawks going to start scoring power play goals and break things open, and they finally did. I like the under 6 quite a bit. I think this is a great spot with 2 goalies that I trust, one team who can't score on the power play, and then one team who obviously is a very good power play team. They were 8 for their last 19 before going 0-3 versus the Blackhawks. But the Jackets know that they can't take any penalties. Yeah. I like the spot, under 6.
Yeah, it's an interesting game. The Rangers, of course, scoring well, but Columbus not scoring well recently. Columbus with Bobrovsky. All right, so under 6 minus 124 is the best line we can give you right now. Is that okay?
Love it.
All right, and then you say you have a play on Buffalo, Detroit as well.
I do. I think there are going to be goals in this game, and that plus 5.5 is a big dog right now, which I absolutely love. One of the reasons why I think there's going to be goals is Trevor Daley left Wednesday's thrashing of the Flames, and he is just a key cog back there. They might get Danny DeKeyser back, but coming in off an injury, he's not going to be playing that well. The young guns were flying versus the Flames. Mantha, Athanasiou, Larkin combined for 5 goals in that game. Sabres' offense has finally come together, and losing Rasmus Ristolainen is a huge loss defensively. A little bit offensively because he makes great outlet passes, but without Ristolainen, without Trevor Daley, I'm getting plus number on 5.5 over. I think this is the best spot maybe of the whole card for me.
Okay, the bet of including NBA, right? So over 5.5 plus 110 is the line right now at Bet Online, Pinnacle, and a few other places. Over 5.5 plus 110. Jimmy, so that's it. You're going to have 2 picks. Okay, so we're gonna try to go a little bit fast because we have a huge NBA card today, and then Jim wants to do an NFL at the end of this segment. So Jim's on Columbus under 6 minus 124 and Detroit over 5.5 plus 110. Let's just quickly look at some comments, and then we'll move on to NBA. Okay?
Absolutely.
Let's see.
So K Pine says, I'm a huge Rangers fan. Honestly, you can't trust Hank. Do you think we can trust Hank?
I actually don't know. I know you can trust Bobrovsky, though. So, I mean, it seems like Columbus's scoring issues are for real right now. So, I don't know. That's a very, very tough one. Let me see. Let's see. Rangers have been doing the way lose home crap. Let's see. Other comments. Yeah, a lot of people taking NHL off. People already looking into some football and some NBA. Will LG says, I look forward to the show every morning. Thank you so much, Will LP. DP13P says, great show, guys. Tailed action total. Great info, Pete. That's 3 in a row for me. One winner every week in action. Very nice. All right, let's see. I love betting. Matt Football, worst witch says Loshak's Mac locks. We kill that Mac easy. People talking about the Cavs. We're going to get to the NBA in a second. Just quickly looking at and I'll tell you what, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay in college basketball right now. And starting on Monday, I'm going to start being able to give my college basketball plays, and I think some of those will be profitable. Hopefully.
Beautiful. Hopefully. I'm in on that too.
I mean, the thing with college basketball, we'll talk about it later. The thing with college basketball is I sort of take the game as I take a very holistic approach, which means full game, first half, and second half, and the totals. So I do a lot of bets where I'm planning on if it goes a certain way or doesn't go a certain way to take the second half in a certain way, or I take the first half. Sometimes I'll stay off the full game. So it's a little bit tricky to give just like full game lines because a lot of times my full game bets are I'm expected to either double up or hedge them or whatever with halftime stuff. But in general, college basketball, every time college basketball starts, I'm always stressed by how much work there is to do. And then like 2 days later, I forget how much I love it. And I just love handicapping college basketball. All right. So Jim has 2 bets. Let's quickly, let's see. Some people getting killed by hockey. Yeah, hockey can be tough. Jim and I are both up in hockey, but it's our worst positive units so far. All right. And
Dom is here saying that the age is really showing with Lundqvist.
Yes.
I really think that him feeling responsibility over the 6-game winning streak stopping is going to make him play very well, and he's going up against a team that can't score 5-on-5. I'm in it.
Okay. A lot of positive comments. Really appreciate that. Starting on Monday, we'll probably get to some more positive comments on the afternoon show. But as of right now, we've got a lot to cover and not a whole lot of time. Alex Nogales says, "Good morning from Las Vegas." Las Vegas. That might be. Maybe we should go to the higher ups at SBR and be like, look, let's just move this whole shit to Las Vegas, man. They might do it.
I am 1,000% down.
That'd be awesome. Or we could do it half there and half here. You know what I mean? How awesome would that be? And then we could just do some shows like driving around in Las Vegas or in a casino or hanging out with some sportsbook guys. That would be awesome. That'd be a cool fucking show. Hang out with Andrew G, MGTOW. Andrew G, brother in MGTOW. Brother, stay strong, brother. Stay strong, Andrew G, brother in MGTOW. Brother in MGTOW, my brother Andrew G. All right, let's move on. Enough jokes. All right. Robin Spears says, Loshak's Mac is making me cheese. Very nice.
You deserve that cheese, yes, thank you. Robin. You deserve it.
So we're done with NHL. Jim has 2 picks. I'm kind of liking them both. Good luck for you today on NHL. And now let's move on to NBA. Jim, you had a great call last night, Houston Phoenix on the over. Again, my leans, I just didn't look into it enough, but it seemed obvious that the under and Boston was the play. I didn't give either of those. Let's read our records before we get into it. My official picks, not my leans. Official picks in NBA, 40-25, plus 12.8 units, plus 18% ROI. Wow. Jim's official picks in NBA, 47-39, plus 6 units, plus 6.5% ROI. Those are both very excellent records. Hopefully we'll be able to maintain. On today's card, I think I'm seeing a bunch of things that I'm liking. I don't even know where to start, but let's start with the Knicks in Toronto, okay? I'm from New York. You're from Toronto, Jim. Toronto, obviously a very impressive team, right? More impressive than the Houston win was that they bounced right back on a back-to-back and rolled New Orleans. Still, though, not the most consistent team in the world, and I'm not totally sure why the Knicks should be getting 8 points here. I'm leaning that way, and I'm definitely leaning the Knicks team total over. What's your take on this game, Jim?
You know, the Raptors are taking a lot of flack from our Toronto media and even my friends. And then they stepped up with those 2 big games.
Before you go on, this is not so much a fade of Toronto as it is just, typical situation where why should New York be getting 8 points here?
Oh, and I know, and I'm not taking anything away from what you're saying. I think that the Raptors pick their spots to step up for whatever reason. And a lot of times when there's a good feeling in that dressing room, they come back home and they don't play the way we expect them to play, at least for a full game. That Bulls game last week is a perfect example of just taking their foot off the gas. Now, I'm very concerned with DeLon Wright and Norm Powell out for the Raptors. They're very important guys on the perimeter and on the ball defending. And that gives Hardaway Jr. a nice opportunity to hit threes, and he's become a legitimate second scoring option behind Big Dick Zingis. I think there's a problem with the Raptors not being able to bring out DeLon Wright and Norm Powell to slow down the perimeter scoring. So I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about this
Sounds
game.
like you're agreeing that you like the Knicks +8.
I do, but I'm not going to take them. The Raptors have been too good.
Yeah.
But I do. You're right. My lean would be Knicks +8, and I'm going to leave this game alone because I'm concerned about them coming back off the road.
And Lowry, Lowry can when he's work clicking offensively, which he has been recently, they will cover big favorite spreads. Skooma Steve saying, I see team total over 104 for the Knicks. Yeah, some places have 104. Pinnacle has 104.5 plus 100. You also mentioned that they won't be able to slow the Knicks down. I'm thinking about the team total over 104.5. What do you think about that for the Knicks?
I think that spot makes sense because of Wright and Powell being out. They're very, very important guys on our team, and the defending is not going to be as strong. Okay,
I will take him. Again, in the NBA, I've been sort of like trying to push myself. Anytime I'm feeling like if I don't give a play, it would just be a lack of balls, like yesterday with the Boston at Golden State game. I will give both of those on today's card. It does appear to be some movement, some money coming in on Toronto from Pinnacle, but I will give the Knicks +8 -102, and I will give the Knicks team total over 104.5 plus 100. Does concern me a little bit that some money does appear to be coming in on Toronto's way, but I will take that one. I have a bunch of other plays that I'm liking as well. All right, Jim, what do you want to give for today's NBA card?
Oh, there's a lot that I like.
Yeah.
There is a lot that I like. Well, why don't we just go right to the Clippers at Cavs?
Okay.
I know a lot of people love talking about the Cavs. I went off on the Clippers at the beginning of the year saying how bad they were. They started out 4-0. I took a lot of shit on the forum, and it looks at this point like I was right. And the reason why the Clippers are bad is because they have nobody that's able to distribute the ball. Teodosic gets hurt. And then Patrick Beverley and Danilo Gallinari are great at moving the ball around and setting up opportunities. They're both out on the sidelines. Rivers is just not capable of doing it. The Clippers are playing very ugly basketball, and the Cavaliers want to keep this 3-game winning streak going. Now, the one thing that has scared me this year is the Cavs are 0-3 in home games following a road trip this season. So why are they not mentally prepared to play when they come back home? That's a concern. But I'm going to take the Cavaliers to cover.
Wow. Okay. This is actually, I'm liking a lot of plays on the card today as well. This is one of the games that I'm like, I'm just going to pass on this one. All right. Jim's going to take the Cavs. Another one where slight money coming in on the Clippers on Pinnacle, but that's, as we've seen, can change in a heartbeat. -6.5, -102. Is that okay?
-6.5, -102 is what I've got. Okay. My man, Ibrahim, out of Norway, like second half Cavs -2.5. That makes sense. But here Hako Schofield says Cavs win fucking easy.
Okay.
Says Clippers suck ass. That makes me feel good. Too good to be true says good bet. Jem Tablak says Clippers can't stay healthy. Alonzo, my man Alonzo, our man Alonzo says, of course Cavs tonight. So I like this. Jose Ruiz says Clippers no defense. Jesus Cabrera likes Cavs first half. What up, Jesus? Much love, man. And I like it.
Yeah. That is it's just a tricky one. I'm just still not sure I trust the Cavs with their worst defense in a spot like this, but I'm certainly not going to talk you off it. I'm certainly not betting the Clippers here. That's for sure. All right, let's move on. Well, let's just move on. Let's throw on another one here. Miami and Washington. I've had a very good read on Washington recently. I didn't have that's so frustrated. I didn't have the balls to give the under in the first game Miami-Washington play and the Miami team total under. I said I like both of those. Those are both in my leans category, but not official picks. Now it's the rematch. I'm not totally sure I like the under here, but I do think I'm liking Miami at least to cover the 5 points to bounce back here. Miami's an inconsistent team with some ups and downs, but I think that Dragic should be okay, and I think Whiteside has some fight in him. And Washington is good. They're great with that backcourt, but I'm leaning Miami +5, and I think I'm going to give it. What do you think, Jim?
See, I'm leaning Wizards here, and I'm concerned that you're not there with me, so I'll break it down with you and we can figure it out together. John Wall completely dominated their game on Wednesday night. He 27.6 assists, just an okay line for him, but he was +18 in 38 minutes. They were -9 when he wasn't on the floor. So Dragic has a lot of heart. Will he take it upon himself to play better? I assume so, but he's just not in Wall's league.
Right.
Now, one of the reasons why I like the Wizards here, and let's break this down, Beal only went 6 for 19 in that contest, and the Wiz still won easily. Now they're coming back home. I don't see why this contest will be any different. I like the Wizards here. They've been playing better defensively, and Beal made a big point about saying the key to this Wizards team becoming elite is their defense.
Yes, which I have been, and I have a pretty good read on Washington, I think, and I've been on their unders since that happened. And again, I just didn't have the balls to give the under in their last game against Miami, which did cash. I'm on Miami +5 -102. That's a definite official pick. Jim, what do you want to do? You want to go head to head?
I do want to go. I don't want to go, but I will go if necessary.
Well, it is a split line. So we can give you the Heritage line, which is -4.5, -110, actually, right now.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's very possible that Jim could win and I could push. Jim and I, doesn't happen often, but we are going head-to-head, baby. I'm on Miami +5 -102. Jim's on Washington -4.5, -110. I'm sure there'll be a lot of commentary in the chat box. Alonzo Shiver says he's going to start off fast. Yeah, I did also have Washington in the first half as one of my leans that I bet in their last game. So we'll see. I'm going to take Miami on the full game, and
I know that Gortat has a tough time with Whiteside. I know that. But Markieff Morris is very tough, and he's going to have to come in and help all game long.
All right, lot of disagreement here. Too Good to Be True likes Miami. Never Faded likes the Wiz. Gonzalo Lopez likes the Wizards money line, which is kind of a weak sauce opinion. But yeah, I hear you. Jose Ruiz appears to be liking the Wizards. Alonzo Shivers likes Heat in the first half. Mets Junkies Trap House likes Washington's defense. Alonzo Shivers Reggie really like Miami, Pete. So a lot of disagreement on this game. Look, you do see that, and if you watch my this goes all the way to the top disagreement. If you watch my Into the Weekend with Bet DSI show every week, you'll see that there are many weeks where sharps, the big multi-million-dollar sharp long-term profit accounts, are oftentimes on the opposite side of games. So it doesn't necessarily mean that that one of us is wrong here for going opposite. Hako Schofield says Wizards win. Hako Schofield says Pete might lose the Miami game. Espirito Late says no one in Miami can check Wall. That is true. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. A lot of disagreement. All right. So we're going to go up head-to-head on this one. Let's move on to the Detroit-Indiana game. This is obviously Detroit has been a very impressive team in general this year. This is a game where I'm leaning over and leaning the Detroit team total over. I did get burned on the Detroit team total over in their last game. I think it was just a lean though, but it was something that I bet. They got a lot of block shots. Milwaukee played a great defensive game. Indiana's trying to pick up the pace here, so I'm liking the under and the over and the Detroit team total over. What do you think about this one, Jim?
I'm with you totally on the over.
Okay, yes.
McMillan wants his Pacers to play faster. He says even the 116-113 win over the Grizzlies, they weren't playing fast enough. He wants them to get out and push the ball, and it's working. And the Pacers have a soft defense. They were up 17 in the fourth, and they led the Grizzlies back in it. And the Pacers still have trouble defending the paint, and they're going to have their hands full with Andre Drummond. So the Pistons are 10-4. They shot 35% and had 18 turnovers and just barely lost to Milwaukee. They will shoot better tonight. My lean is Pistons. I'm not going to take it because I think that the over is a really nice spot, and I've had trouble. When I bet on the Pacers, they've won, and when I bet against the Pacers, they've won as well. So I'm having a trouble reading the Pacers. So I'm just going to take the Pistons over and feel confident on it.
The Pistons team total over?
No, sorry, the whole game over.
The whole game over.
Yeah.
Okay. Best line right now would be bookmaker 209.5 -110. It is a split line, 209.5 or 210. I will go on that one with you. The full game over 209.5 -110. I will also take the Detroit team total over, which is 103.5 -114. And I'd also be leaning to triple up on this game on the first half over, which is just 107. What do you think about that one, Jim?
Oh, sorry, Project Carpe Diem says my sister defends the key better than the Pacers.
Very nice.
Sorry, about taking the Pistons team total over?
Yeah. No, the first half over with 107, doubling up on that one.
I think that is
maybe.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. It makes sense that the Pacers are going to come out flying and the Pistons are going to come out flying too. They're going to be upset. I like that a lot. What is it again? 107?
My sister defends the key. That's a double entendre there. That's a that's a good one. Funny. That's a good one. I might Project Carpe Diem. I don't know if you wrote that one, but if you did, I might use that one in the future. Thank you for that joke. And if I do use it, you should use it too. If we use it in the future, we will say Project Carpe Diem wrote that one. If someone else wrote that one, Project Carpe Diem, let us know who it is. That's a pretty damn funny one.
It's good, man. It's good. But I agree with him completely. I think that the Pacers, I mean, we've loved the way Sabonis is playing.
Okay.
We've talked about it constantly, but they're going to have trouble. They don't have enough big bodies.
Yeah. They did meet recently. Detroit rolled them at home, and that game went over. So I'll just go on it two ways. Detroit team total over 103.5 minus 114, and the over 209.5. And Jim is on the over 209.5 as well.
I'm interested in doubling up on this game.
Okay.
I'm so confident in the over here that I'm interested in it. So I'm going to take the first half over as well.
Oh, shit. All right. First half over 107 minus 106. I'm doubling on it with the Detroit one. I'm not going to triple up on it because just anything can happen. But Jim's going to take the first half over 107 minus 106. All right. Let's move on. Clippers, Cleveland, we covered. Toronto, Detroit, we covered. Utah, Brooklyn had no overnight line. We'll get to that in a second. OKC and the Spurs. That's an interesting game. The Spurs obviously have a team that is just well coached, but they're still trying to figure things out. Great call on the Spurs under recently. Didn't you have a winner with the Spurs under in their last game? That was a great
the Spurs
call.
Wolves.
Yes. And OKC, what's up with them? I'm thinking that maybe this might be a sneaky game to take a shot with the over. The Spurs can be higher scoring when at times. We've seen that for sure. And OKC, I mean, low scoring, but they have guys in the lineup who can put points up. I'm thinking about the over here as a sneaky play. What do you think about that one?
Well, it concerns me because I like the under here, and it worries me. And I do see that it is a pretty low total, so it is. I do see where you're coming from. Let's just break it down, and maybe I can figure it out more. Thunder are number 2 in the league in defense, and the Spurs are number 4. So this is, to me, just going to be a street fight. Carmelo Anthony back in the lineup Wednesday after missing Sunday's game. Steven Adams has missed the last 3 games with a calf contusion, but he is likely to be back in the lineup. The Thunder have to play better against these Western Conference teams. They're 1-6. So the key is getting Aldridge into foul trouble. That's what Minnesota was lucky enough to do. Aldridge is, to me, their only legitimate, consistent scoring option until Kawhi comes back. He got into foul trouble, and they were completely screwed in that game versus the Wolves. And now that's the answer to beating the Spurs right now. Go at Aldridge nonstop. Go at him every single play. Get him in trouble, and then the Spurs won't be able to score. Yeah. So now, I mean, it's not going to work just like it's printed. Obviously, it's not just that easy to get Aldridge in foul trouble, and now he's going to be concerned, and Pop will be talking about it nonstop. But I like this. I like the under.
You like the under. Yeah, I mean, both teams have been strong under trenders on the year for sure. I can understand why. It's just a low total. Too good to be true, says Spurs are looking good again. OKC starts fast but can't hang a full game at home. San Antonio, 100%, loves it. Reggie says like the over, Pete. Hako Schofield says over with the Spurs. Alonzo Shiver says OKC first half. Aspira Tolate says OKC here. Spurs really missing Dedmon and Simmons. All right. That's an interesting game. I might be both teams have been under trenders on the year. I understand that. I will take a shot with the over 197.5 minus 101. I might be on the wrong side here though, but again, I have units to burn, which is pretty stupid thing to say, but I can be a little bit less risk averse than I would be if I didn't. I'll take the Reggie agrees with me. I'll take the over. OKC Spurs over 197.5 minus 101 right now at Pinnacle. Obviously, the market is betting the under. How do you want to bet this game, Jim?
I'm very concerned to go against you a second time.
I mean,
but I'll have to do it.
Okay.
Daryl Lyles comes in and says the total's gone under in 5 of the Spurs' last 6 games when playing at home against OKC. Project Carpe Diem under for OKC Spurs. And then Reggie has a good point. He says close games forces it to go over. Adrian A says too tricky to touch.
This might not necessarily be a close game, though. The spread implies that it will be, but I could easily see a blowout either way.
I'm going to take the under.
All right. Okay. The best line right now, it is a split. Markets all over the place. We will give you bet DSI under 199 minus 110. Under 199. So it's possible you could even both win if it lands on 198. I'm going to be on the over. That's definitely a borderline play. It's a lean. Both teams been strong under trenders. Other people have commented about how San Antonio's been an under trender against OKC at home. Makes a lot of sense. I'm going to take a shot with the over 197.5 minus 101. Jim's going to take the under 199 at bet DSI. FTSI minus 110. That's why line shopping is so important. SBRodds.com is a free line shopping service that you can use. Jim and I going head to head. And again, this is a very borderline play. I don't like it nearly as much as some of the other plays on this card, like the Detroit over, like the friggin', even the Miami pick I kind of like. I don't know. All right, so let's move on. Charlotte and Chicago is a very interesting game. Chicago having all kinds of issues, starting games slowly, and Charlotte is starting games fast. So on paper, unless you expect one of these teams to change their form, Charlotte on the first half might be worth a play. And I'm thinking just about the Charlotte team total over. I don't quite trust Chicago offensively. They might show up, but I feel like Charlotte should have an okay game offensively here. Those are my leans: Charlotte first half and the Charlotte team total over. What do you think, Jim?
I like the Hornets. I like them a lot. I think that because Batum was out, and they struggled in the early part of the season, that we're going to find value on Charlotte, especially over the next few weeks. Now, the Bulls are getting Justin Holiday back. That should help a little bit. But they're averaging 12.7 first-quarter points over the last 3 games. They're a bad team. And Batum and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist are starting to play very well. The better they play, the less pressure is on Malik Monk and some of these kids that they also have on this team. I like the Hornets here. I really like them. I like them first half and total.
All right. The first half is 3.5 market wide, except Pinnacle has 3, so we will credit you with that, and I will go on with that with you as well. Charlotte -3, -106. It just concerns me because Chicago's been starting slow, and they know that they have to change that, so they might come out here and try to. But then again, if they get down, Charlotte might run away with it. It's a tricky one. I will go on with you with that. Charlotte first half -3, -106, and I think I also like the Charlotte team total over. It's going to be 101.5 -114. That's at Pinnacle, and I will take that one as well. Charlotte team total over 101.5 -114. And Jim, you're on Charlotte first half
and full game.
And the full game.
Yeah.
Okay, first half -3, -106. And the full game for Jim is going to be -6, -105. So a little bit of money coming in on Chicago, but Jim taking Charlotte -6, -105. That's the line right now at Pinnacle.
Batum's just going to get more comfortable. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is playing very well. We believe in Kemba Walker. I think this team has a lot of different looks. I've always been a Frank Kaminsky fan, not always been a Howard fan. I'm not a Howard fan, but he does give you a different look.
Yeah. All right. Espirito Late says first half Charlotte, great pick. Never Faded says Hornets first half and game. Nate Back should spread the floor better and free up the bigs. Alonzo Shiver says Hornets win easy tonight. So it appears like everyone is agreeing with us. Jansen Bonzone says Charlotte Chicago full game over. That's how I was leaning as well, but I'm going on the Charlotte team total over because I don't totally trust Chicago's offensively, but I definitely like the over on the full game as well. Jansen Bonzone says Charlotte win by 10. Too Good to Be True says Hornets are a great team. That might, everyone's agreeing with us, Jim, which sometimes can be a good thing and sometimes not be a good thing.
Sometimes it could be a bad thing, but they all agreed with us on the Tampa Bay Lightning puck line, and we won 6-1 yesterday. So I feel like if we're all on the same page, we looked good yesterday. Why not look good again today?
All right, we got a few more games. Let me just review the picks so far, just to make sure that I got everything for you, Jim. I'm on where am I? I'm on the Knicks +8, the Knicks team total over 104.5. I'm on Miami +5. I'm on Detroit team total over 113.5. 103.5 -114, and the full game over on that one 209.5. I'm on the OKC over 197.5 -101. Charlotte first half -3, and the Charlotte team total over 101.5 -114. Now, Jim, here's all my picks for you. Make sure that I got them all, didn't miss anything. Cleveland -6.5. Spurs under 199. Charlotte first half -3 and the full game -6. Detroit first half over 107 and the full game over 209.5. And Washington -4.5 -110.
Yep.
Did I miss anything?
Nope, we're good.
All right, let's move on. Keep chugging along. Minnesota, Dallas. Obviously, Dallas is horrible. Minnesota playing better defensively recently, and I got to be thinking that Minnesota on the first half here is worth a play as well. Maybe Dallas team total under. What do you think, Jim?
I think this is a tricky, trappy situation. It's so tricky. The Timberwolves know how bad the Mavericks are, and something just doesn't feel right. I just don't feel. I feel so uncomfortable about the Timberwolves taking the Mavericks lightly that I almost want to take the Mavericks by the spread. The Wolves' whole offense right now is based around Towns going to the rim hard, getting defenses to collapse, opening up easy shots. And if you understand that's what Minnesota is just going to do, you should be able, Carlisle should be able to figure out a way to defend it. Now, Dennis Smith Jr. had 27 points last game, but 6 turnovers to 2 assists. Now, I know he did play a little bit at the 2. It wasn't just at the 1. Mavs are getting Devin Harris back. I just feel like this is an uncomfortable situation.
Interesting. Reggie says Mavs in a good spot. Alonzo Shiver says Wolves first half and full game. Jansen Bonzone says Minnesota Dallas full game under. Definitely Minnesota's been playing better defense recently, and Dallas can be shut down. Maybe just Dallas on the team total under would be worth a shot. That's 103 if they hold them to under 100 at cashes. No.
I'm uncomfortable with. I want to see Minnesota play against these bad teams and try hard. They're a very young team. Hopefully, Jimmy Butler's talking about this in the dressing room. But this is one of those things where as soon as I started studying this game, I was scared. I was afraid. And the NBA is just one of those leagues where you can't always believe what you've just seen.
Yes.
And especially when teams don't care about playing a 2-13 Maverick squad that looks bad.
Yeah. What do you think about the Dallas team total under? It seems like Minnesota, but yeah, you're right. Sometimes against the bad teams, they'll just like, all right, we know we're good defensively. We'll just let these guys score a little bit.
This is my fuck.
Yeah.
Just
all right.
Don't feel good.
We'll come back to this one. Let's get some interesting comments here. Perfect Rotation says, I'm with a bag on this one. It's a trap. Darryl Lyle says, under in Dallas Wolves. Jose Ruiz says, don't be scared. Take Minnesota to win and cover. They're having fun right now. Alonzo Shivers says, Mavs have no clue how to play team ball. Too good to be true says, I left it alone. Added Minnesota money line. That's a scared move right there. Taking a big money line on the instead of taking the points. That's interesting. Hako Schofield, we all got to hit like button. Thank you so much, Hako Schofield. Tyler Foster, holy shit, I actually woke up early enough for a live show. Badass. Thank you so much, Tyler Foster. All right, let's see. Reggie says Mavs in a good spot. Armin and Josa asking about have the college basketball games been covered yet? We are not covering college basketball in these shows just because we don't quite have time to either cover them or to prepare for them. But starting on Monday, we will definitely be getting, I will definitely be getting college basketball in the late shows. Maybe we'll start to touch on it in the early shows. We'll see. But as of right now, we are not covering college basketball in these shows.
Also, with the early show, you guys can say, hey, I'm really interested in this college basketball game. We'll come back 5-6 hours later and hammer it.
Yes.
We do have a new watcher, a first-time live watcher, Kaisa Kyle.
No, very
Thank you
nice.
for watching. Thank you for being a part of this.
Okay, very, very nice, very nice. All right, let's move on. Next game on the docket is Portland Sacramento. That's another interesting one. Sacramento, awful. This is going to be a pass for me. Do you have a play on that one, Jim?
I do have a play on this, and I'd like to break it down with you and see what you think. First off, I like the under, and I'm interested in the Kings under. Now, I know we just saw them play so badly on this East Coast swing, and you're not supposed to believe everything you see. They lost by a combined 91 points in these 3 games. They've allowed their teams they're playing against 55.5% from the field, teams averaging 118 points against them on the swing. They're 29th in the NBA scoring at 93.6 points per game. They didn't break 92 in any of these 3 games. But I've been making mistakes with the Blazers, and I watched them closely lately and tried to figure out what I'm doing wrong. And it's just clear that this is not last year's Blazers. They are 3rd in the league in defense. They have a lot of depth. Now, Shabazz Napier has usurped Evan Turner on the depth chart, so he gives a chance for Lillard and McCollum to rest while keeping up the scoring and ball movement. You know, they with Chief out, with Aminu out, Caleb Swanigan is starting. He only played 6 minutes, not looking good. They clearly have a problem with Aminu out at the 4. Now, I know they have Ed Davis, who can slip down into the 4, but they don't do that for obvious reasons. He doesn't like it there. He doesn't feel as comfortable there. So with this hole in the 4, I don't see how they're going to be able to score enough points.
Okay. Alonzo Shiver says this is a trap game. Jimmy, under might be a great play. I also made a final decision. I am going to take the Dallas team total under 103 minus 110. That's a play at Pinnacle. So I am throwing that one on. Dallas team total under 103 minus 110. All right. So do you want to make a pick on this Portland-Sacramento game, Jim? We got to move it on.
I would like to take the under, and I'm curious what the Kings team under is.
The Kings team total under is low. It's Sacramento. Let's see. It would be 95 and a half at Pinnacle, 96 at Heritage, or 96 minus 110.
Well, I'm going to definitely take I'm going to take the under on both the game and the Kings team total.
The team total under, best line right now, line shopping as we speak here at SBRodds.com would be 198.5 minus 109.
198.5. That's a great line. We just saw the Blazers shut down the Magic, who have so much more scoring than this Kings team. I like this play, so I'm going to take the Kings under and the full game under. Okay,
Kings under 96 minus 110. That is a line at Heritage. Pinnacle has 95.5, but Heritage has 96. Sacramento under 96 minus 110 on the team total. Now let's move on to the Phoenix Lakers game. First game, of course, was close, very high scoring. Second game, somewhat close, very low scoring. I believe you had the under on that Phoenix Lakers game. The second one, great call on that one, Jim. Here we have another very high total, and Phoenix getting a decent amount of points. I was thinking maybe a shot with Phoenix here. I don't know. What do you think, Jim?
This is a tough spot. They scored 60 less points in the second time they met. The volatility with these two young teams is nuts. So Clarkson slowly taking over the point guard position from Lonzo, and Luke Walton has to be very careful with how they handle this. Thank God Magic is there to help. You can't just destroy Lonzo's confidence this early in the season. So Walton said Lonzo's still their starting point guard. He's going to get decent minutes, even to the detriment of the team. This is a very tough spot. Lakers are far and away the worst three-point shooting team in the league at 28.8%. No other team's under 32%. And then the Suns just allowed the Rockets to put up 90 points last night in the first half. That's the second most first half points a team has allowed in the shot clock era. Devin Booker put up 36. Greg Monroe, who we didn't even think was going to play, is now playing for the team, put up 20 and 11 last night with Tyson Chandler, who's out, and he still may be out, questionable tonight with sickness. This is just, I'm leaving this game alone.
Why not the under? Why don't you like the under? I mean, I feel like the game is more likely to resemble the last game than the first game, right?
Well, the Suns just allowed 90 points. Like, I understand you're not supposed to have a recency bias, but I thought the Rockets were going to score easily. But 90 first half points? I mean, what are they doing? Greg Monroe is obviously not comfortable defensively in the system, and will what 24 hours change that? I mean, Devin Booker is hot, so hot right now. He's going to put up easy. I can almost guarantee he's going to put up 30 or more. And if Clarkson does take over from Lonzo, Clarkson's scoring way more than Lonzo. It's just
Aspiratolate says this goes over sometimes. On Friday night games, the Lakers do run up the score. All right, I will hold off on that one. Suns on a back-to-back, but on the road now. Lakers first half, a great play, Jimmy. That's an interesting opinion from Alonzo Shivers.
That is an interesting call, and I respect it.
Especially with Tyson Chandler out. All right, let's quickly get to the last game, New Orleans and Denver. It's an interesting one. It's going to be a pass for me. I'm going to review the comments, Jim, and if you have anything to say about New Orleans, Denver, let us know.
I do. I have Denver, and we'll be taking Denver. They've had 3 days off, and they're likely to get Gary Harris back. That's a huge deal, because then they can put Barton back on the bench and have a really good second unit. Harris is hitting 44% from three and is a great perimeter defender. Now, the Pelicans' perimeter defense has been so bad lately. Last 5 games, teams are shooting 42% from three against them. Rondo will be playing a few more minutes. But I really like this. And so, obviously, when we're dealing with the Pelicans, we have to deal with how do you handle Cousins and Davis. And this Nuggets team has 4 bigs that can play. So they'll have Millsap and Jokic, and then throw Plumlee and Fareed at them. I love that. I love the fact that they have 4 bigs. I think this is a really good spot, and not everybody believes in it. Alonzo Shivers is saying, no, Jimmy.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen, Alonzo.
That one makes me nervous. Hako Schofield says Denver will win. Kobe Valentine says, I back Denver. CC924 says, I like Denver at home to bounce back after that ugly loss to Portland. This one makes me nervous, giving New Orleans 4.5 points. But if you want it, I will write it down on your official picks, Jim.
I want it badly.
All right, Denver minus 4.5, minus 103 is the best line right now at Pinnacle. Let's quickly get to some comments, and then we'll move on. Carlos Morales says, Loshak in the bag. Thank you so much for your wisdom. I'm winning big and up this week. You guys rock. Blessing to you all. Blessings back at you, Carlos Morales.
Pal. Keep getting paid, buddy.
Alonzo Shiver says, I think Pelicans might take first half. Jansen Bonzone says, Cousins is a hothead. Alonzo Shiver says, no, Jimmy, no. All right, let's see other comments here. Just quickly looking for comments, and then we will sum up, and then we will move on.
Mets Junkies Trap House, 4 bigs should handle the 2. I really think it's going to help them now. They want to stop using 4 bigs. They want to cut either for it's probably going to be Farid, to be honest with you. But right now, it's really helpful to have those 4 guys to keep going at them and going at them and going at them. Jansen Bonzone says Cousins is a hothead. Let's get him in foul trouble. Let's get him whining. I like this spot.
Kevin Bartlett says, you guys are the fucking best, all in caps, SBR brass, SBR ownership, SBR higher-ups. Take note, Kevin Bartlett says, you guys are the fucking best, all in caps. Hako Schofield just says, always love this fucking show, SBR higher-ups, SBR brass, SBR ownership. Take note. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. All right, I guess look, I would love to have another 15 minutes here to talk about this, but let's wrap it up. Let's summarize the picks. My picks in NBA, Knicks +8, Knicks team total over 104.5. Miami +5, going head-to-head against Jim. Detroit team total over 103.5, and Detroit, Indiana over 209.5. I'm on OKC over 197.5, going head-to-head against Jim. Charlotte first half -3, Charlotte team total over 101.5, and Dallas team total under 103. Jim's picks are as follows. Let's see. Cavaliers -6.5, Spurs under 199, Charlotte first half -3, and Charlotte full game -6. Jim's on Washington -4.5, Detroit over 209.5, and Detroit first half over 107, Sacramento under 198.5, and the Sacramento team total under 96 -110, and Denver -4.5. Did I miss anything?
No, you got it.
All right, let's move on. Thanks for all the comments. Let's move on. I guess let's head now to let's head to football. Once again, I've given out a totals winner Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Boom, boom, boom. Friday, there is one totals play again that is not a top tier play, but a second tier play for me. Maybe I'll give it out. We got 2 college football games here. It is the under in UNLV, New Mexico. Now both these teams are very, very run heavy, obviously. And some very significant defensive questions for both of these teams. But my sense is that the defenses are probably going to be a little bit more able to improve here than the offenses will. They know what the offensive game plans are going to be for both of these teams. You know, it's a tricky one. I wish I was getting 58 or 58.5 as opposed to 56, but I did bet the under at 56, and maybe I'll just go for it just because it would be so cool to get to nail 4 in a row, wouldn't it?
I know that you had that in you.
It makes me nervous. I mean, because New Mexico, of course, when their option, UNLV has major problems stopping the run, and if New Mexico's option offense starts to get going, the game will go over in a hurry. UNLV did face an option offense, though earlier in the year it was Air Force, a better option offense than New Mexico, and they did cover that one. The game went over, but it went to 64. And that was also, I believe, when UNLV had better, not so many injuries offensively. So my lean is to the under on this one. I'll have to decide whether I want to give it as official pick or not. And then the other game is Middle Tennessee, Western Kentucky, which is a total stay away for me, only because both teams are pretty impressive and both teams are sort of on the upswing right now. Obviously, Middle Tennessee got back Stockstill offensively, which is a huge, huge benefit for them. And Western Kentucky is also getting healthier offensively as well. So both teams are getting better offensively. I don't want to take the over here, though. Feels like it's going to be a close game. Middle Tennessee also, it's a little bit hard to gauge how much of an improvement they got from Stockstill because the 2 games since their bye, since Stockstill came back, were against crappy competition. It was like UTEP and I forgot who it was against, but terrible competition. So this is going to be a much more difficult assignment on the road against Western Kentucky. I would, I guess, have a lean towards Western Kentucky as a home dog, but I definitely am not going to bet that one. Definitely not going to give it as a pick. The total, I guess I would have a lean to the under, but definitely not going to bet that one. Definitely not going to give it as a pick. The only bet I did make was the under in ULV New Mexico, which I'm not loving, but I liked it enough to make it a minimum unit bet for myself. And that's it for college football. Jimmy, do you have anything about either of those 2 games?
Yeah, they aren't easy. With the UNLV New Mexico game, the Armani Rogers injury really hurt, but then Johnny Stanton's looking better every week. The issue with this game is with the Rebels is their 102nd ranked defense, but can the Lobos' terrible offense take advantage of it?
Right.
Before they scored that meaningless touchdown in the 4th quarter and their 55-14 loss to Texas A&M, they'd gone 46 drives without an offensive TD.
Yeah, I mean UNLV again, bad against the run though. They have faced an option offense, so it's a tricky one. Everyone in the chat box saying they like the over on this one. Al Hart says Drew Martin likes the under in the Western Kentucky game. Hako Schofield says no defense, go over. Let's see. David H says liking the over in UNLV New Mexico. Hako Schofield says like over 56. Danilo Cruz says fun show to watch, win or lose. Danilo Cruz, thank you very much. Luchase Fox says no edge at 56, don't do it. Yeah, I mean, that's basically how I feel. I feel like there's a small edge. I feel like the game is more likely to go into the low 50s than the upper 50s, but it could also go super high scoring out of nowhere. So I guess I will. Big Easy Beasy says, I need a Loshak in the bag bobbleheads for Christmas. We should make those. We should make some of those shits. SBR marketing and upper management, please take note of that. Let's get some bobbleheads going here, baby. All right, so,
the Western Kentucky game is also tough. I mean, Western Kentucky is the worst running game in the nation.
Yeah.
Just 69.4 yards a game. I mean, yeah, they have heart, and yeah, they have some okay defense. But Brent Stockstill, as you said, it's a big deal. Throwing one touchdown in each of his last 20 games. But they did not look good beating a terrible Charlotte team.
Right. My other lean would be Western Kentucky getting the points. Western Kentucky, again, getting a little bit healthier offensively, and that's nice. Western Kentucky also has a pretty nice quarterback. That would definitely be a lean, and you can get 3 right now at BetDSI and BetOnline and sportsbetting.ag. Market uncertain here. It's 2, 2.5, or 3. Pinnacle has 2. BetOnline, sportsbetting.ag has 3. I would definitely be leaning Western Kentucky. That might be the, there you go. Austin Geist says under is the play. Stick with it, Pete. All right, yeah. So I'm thinking about, let's see. I'm thinking about, Andrew G says, I took UNLV plus 2.5 money line and the total over, tripled up. Yeah, Luchase Fox says, might be a cover, but no edge, save your record. I think you might be right there. My leans on today's card be Western Kentucky plus 3 and the under 56 on UNLV New Mexico, but maybe I'll just pass.
Well, you have exceptional records, and there's a reason why.
Yeah.
And so you trust your gut.
That's right. All right, Jim wanted to give some NFL picks, so why don't you give your NFL picks, and I will sit here and decide what I want to do about these college football picks, if I want to keep them as leans or add them to my official record. Before you give your NFL picks, Jim, let's just quickly mention our overall NFL records, which are quite good. Small sample size, but still quite good. Jim's overall record, NFL and college, just one college pick, 19-14, plus 3.5 units, plus 10% ROI. My NFL record overall 14-10 plus 2.5 units plus 9.5% ROI. All right, Jim, what do you want to give for NFL this week?
I am giving 5 official picks. All right. The final one will be my best bet in the Beat the Bag contest. So let's go through it, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. First off, and I have to go fast. We don't have a lot of time. So I have Washington Redskins versus New Orleans Saints over.
Wait, hold on one second. You don't have to go that fast. We have to, okay, wait, hold on. Washington against the Saints over. Best line right now, because we do use absolutely religiously up-to-date lines, over 51 minus 110.
Yep.
Okay.
Cousins threw for 327 yards last week against a tough Vikings defense. Who needs Robert Kelly? The Redskins don't. Jamison Crowder, Vernon Davis are stepping up the right time. Drew Brees is Drew Brees. Ingram and Kamara ran for 237 yards last week. The Saints offense is firing on all cylinders. I like the over here quite a bit.
Okay.
I have a second over. Los Angeles Rams versus Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
Over.
Okay. That one, best line right now. We use religiously up-to-date, up-to-the-minute lines. Over 42.5 minus 102 at Pinnacle. Appears to be headed down at Pinnacle.
Wow, that's way down.
45.5 minus 102.
45.5. Sorry,
Yeah.
45.5. But that's not way down. Okay, yeah, that's great. So Case Keenum just threw for 304 yards, 4 TDs. Thielen 8 catches, 166 yards. Latavius Murray's rounding into form. And how good do the Rams look? There's going to be a lot of points at US Bank Stadium. Vikings defense now has holes in it, and I love the over here. I love it.
Okay. What else?
I have the Los Angeles Chargers minus 4.5. If it's still minus 4.5, over the Bills.
Okay, let's see. Chargers, best line, yes. Actually, BetDSI, sportsbetting.ag, bunch of places have minus 4, minus 115.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. Chargers are a good team with a bad record. They could still push for a wild card. This is the time of year when the Bills fall apart. I can't believe they're going with Peterman right now. I'm shocked at the decision that the brass has made. The Chargers have had bad luck this year. Bosa is a beast. Maybe Mike Williams has a game finally. I think the Bills are falling apart right at the time of year where they always do, and the Chargers are playing better right at the time of year that they always do as well.
What else would you like?
Game 4 of my picks, Atlanta Falcons plus 3
Okay.
over the Seattle Seahawks. No Sherman. Most likely no Thomas, banged up Chancellor. Atlanta just won convincingly against the Cowboys. They look great on both sides of the ball. The injuries to the Seahawks are too much to overcome, and Atlanta has the talent to expose a banged up secondary. Some teams don't, and they have the talent to expose this banged up secondary. Do I still have +3?
+3 -118 at Pinnacle.
Love it.
Okay.
And my final game is my best bet. Now, I know this just feels too easy. And nothing is too easy. So gives me some concern. But I don't see how the Cowboys stand a chance against Eagles. Not in any world, not any way I look at this game. Lee's out. Tyron Smith is out. Zeke is suspended. The 8-1 Eagles are coming off a bye. This is too easy. And I've been making the same amounts for all my bets for the last 5 weeks or so, and I'm gonna bet more on this Eagles game. I like it too much.
Okay, so you like the Eagles minus the points here?
Yes.
It is now up to a 4 or 4.5. The Greek still has 4, so we can give you Eagles -4 -110.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
It's 4 or 4.5 market wide, but the Greek still has 4, so we can give you -4 -110.
That's wonderful.
Okay. All right. That sounds. That's about it. Okay. We got to wrap the show up. I'm gonna pass on both of my college football plays, although my leans would be Western Kentucky +3 and the under 56 in the UNLV game. But as far as official picks are concerned, I'll just pass and take the 3-0 week. Of course, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, I will be doing the show with Big Man on Campus, where we'll be reviewing the entire college football card. I've made a lot of bets already on the totals this week, and hopefully the lines won't have moved significantly against me, so I'll be able to give them at the lines close to what I got them. If they did move against me, or maybe in my favor, we'll see. Then it'll be a different story. But that's at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And Jim's given 5 NFL picks, a couple of NHL picks, and Jim and I both have a bunch of NBA picks. 2 of them we're going head-to-head against on each other. We'll see how it all turns out, and we will be back on Monday. Once again, new time, 12 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Pacific.